Okay, I did Bcrypt versus Md5. Md5 message digest algorithm takes an input message of arbitrary length and produces an output of 128-bit message digest. The Md5 algorithm is intended for digital signature applications where a large file must be compressed in a secure manner before being encrypted with a private or secret key under a public key crypto system, which is cryptographic algorithms. Bcrypt is a cross-platform file encryption utility. It is a cipher, and Md5 is the cryptographic hash function. Cipher consists of two algorithms, one for encryption and one for decryption. Encryption takes the data to conceal, and usually other inputs, to produce an unreadable version of the data. Bcrypt is both a one-way hash function for securing passwords and the cipher algorithm. A little background information. It takes about 100 milliseconds to compute, which is about 10,000 times slower than Md5. 100 milliseconds is fast enough that the user won't notice when they log in, but enough that it becomes less feasible to execute against a long list of likely passwords. If a hacker wants to compute Bcrypt against a list of a billion likely passwords, it would take about 30,000 CPU hours for a single password. It's a little introduction. The user creates an account. Their password is hashed and stored in a database. When the user attempts to log in, the hash of the password there entered is checked against the hash of the real password retrieved from the database. If it matches, the user is granted access. If not, the user is told invalid credentials. Steps are repeated every login. Go to material. I used Hashcat as well. That's the whole genre of materials and method. Tools use Hashcat with the command prompt. Java, Eclipse, that wasn't really tested that much actually. Notepad, obviously, to store the word list, passwords, and everything. These are just instructions on how to use the command prompt with Hashcat and how to see the different formats and hash types. This is the input for Hashcat, and to get into the attack mode or hash type or whichever mode you want to get to. And then this is the number after you enter the previous mode. You enter the next mode, which in this case it's 0 for Md5. If you wanted Bcrypt, you go 3200. Enter that after in the command prompt. And then you get a list of examples like this. So this is just some testing. There'll be further results on this. These are just quick analyzations of what's been dealt with already on Md5 is 2 seconds. These are other password mechanisms. Bcrypt can take all the way up to 159, I'm sure, with the same word list because it's more effective but slower. And this is just an example of how, if you enter the commands right, how everything would play out with running Bcrypt. So I mean, the bigger the word list used for testing, the better results would be given by Bcrypt as opposed to Md5. Slow is better when it comes to cracking passwords. Slow means that it requires more computing power. A fast function would execute faster when running and much more powerful hardware.